Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this Thursday, April 2nd, live trading gold futures. Back for another session. A little tired this morning, but let's get it in. I'm not going to waste any freaking time. Yeah, let's run through. Let's run through our pre-market flow here. Get up my Forex Factory. Get up on my tools. See what's popping this morning as far as macro data release goes, as far as any destabilizing news that I may have missed over the last couple of days. Then we will get to the charts, start marking up some levels, clearing up some levels, laying down new ones, all that fun stuff. All right, let's get it. Yeah. What's today? Today's Thursday. Unemployment claims released. Good for currency, good for US dollar. Outside of that, we don't. Another freaking trade bounce day. So we're on these Thursdays. It's nuts. It's nuts. I need to look at the the pattern of this thing actually. Let's see. I feel like it just happens to always land on a Thursday. Anyways. Yeah, got that stuff out of the way. 5:30 a.m. From here on out, we don't have much. Nothing that I am going to pay attention to. Have non-farm net tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. That should surely have an impact. Quick look through here. Actually, you know what I want to look at. Gold sitting on the risk on side of things. Broader markets and risk off. Typically, what you'd see, that analogous relationship, if you will, with respect to the risk sentiment. I will share this tab instead. All right. So what I first want to do before I start thinking about any type of setups, I want to clear some of these levels. You see some of these areas of inefficiency have since been gobbled up by the market. Absolutely gobbled up by the market. Excuse me. My nose is running this morning. Alright. Let's see where we're sitting. We can definitely delete that. That is no longer a thing. Pretty balanced on a 4-hour side of things. Little gap there. Nothing. I probably won't lay anything down for that. This right here, I'm just going to do one of these. And again, if what I'm doing here doesn't look familiar, I promise you it's worth getting familiar to. Marking up our areas of inefficiency, how to find decision-making levels, determining what those levels are. Massive. It's absolutely massive. So while I won't get into talking about our areas of inefficiency structure, what that looks like, outside of saying it's just a gap between price. You guys are more than welcome to tap into the community and learn about some of that stuff. Pop down to the 1 hour. Actually, I wasn't thorough enough there. We still got some play here. And I don't want to be super exhaustive, right? I want to figure out what these levels, where these levels are in my higher time frames. Yeah, I like that. Figure out where these levels are in my higher time frames. Lay down those few handful of lines, marks on my chart, and go from there. I don't want to. There's been times, in my trading past, if you will, where there would just be a million lines on here, marking up every line of um, every line of. I just want to say support and resistance. Yeah, every significant level, I have a line down there, and it's just way too much visual overload. All right, so I like where our levels are at there. Trade balance day. So last trade balance day we had, actually, we there was a good movement, good movement, which isn't super typical of trade balance days. But before we get set, start talking about setups, I'm going to use the restroom. Then we'll get into it. Alrighty, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. It's always so funny, interesting to um, just watch how much earlier the sun is out. It's like right now, a couple months ago, it's pitch black outside, so it's kind of nice. I get up at 5:40 or so. I like getting up at that time and the sun's already coming out. But all right, let's talk about target areas, what we want to see. No more data release coming out. No more data release coming out. So nothing pending, if you will. Ooh, there's a little 5-minute level there. Can you not see that up here? Ooh. There's a little level. Intra 5 here. Could play that up to the bullish side. And I'm just seeing the level at which this most recent bearish liquidity is lying. If I scroll over, it's kind of what I'm marking there with my dash line here. You see, certainly. Why can't I think of certainly a I'll find it. Even if it's excruciating. If it's excruciating for you, it's certainly excruciating for me. Decision making levels. There you go. So this is certainly a decision making level. I'm sure from the 5 minute going up to the hour, there is a decision making level right at the level of this dash line here. So that's something that I will recognize if we do start to go lower. I'll start to kind of isolate this area. I understand there's liquidity to be grabbed. So I'll make sure I'm on top of what the volume looks like, what support we have from our higher time frames. Yeah, go from there. This will be my first trading session of the week. Actually, we had a test on Tuesday and a test on Wednesday. So I had to, with the back-to-back test, I had to forego my trading sessions earlier this week, unfortunately. But that's that's the name of the game, man. When you gotta get it in, you gotta get it in. So when you have multiple domains that are of high importance, and of course take time. You have to get good at code switching, if you will, and taking some sacrifice from some places in order to make sure things are done well. So yeah, we got those tests out of the way. Now we don't have another exam for the next week and a half or so. Not next Monday, but the Monday after. That's our next exam. So I got plenty of time to get myself. I won't even necessarily say caught up, but just get to where I need to be on all of our current lecture blocks. Yeah, that's what. Excuse me. That's what today and tomorrow are going to be for. It's going to be great. But so being able to come down here on a Thursday, get back into it. Yeah, fired up. Mission the same. Nothing changes. I'd say as of right now, just really working on just being absolutely rigid when it comes to aligning with the system, and more importantly, aligning with the I'll actually just decrease that in the name of that. Um, but the not leveraging too big early, right? And kind of leaning into positions, right? If the market decides it wants to prove me wrong, cool. I'll cut it, cut the trade, wait for the next opportunity. One thing that there will never be ever in trading is a lack of opportunities. Right. So one thing I want to get better with is not necessarily feeling like, okay, if there's any sort of opportunity today, tomorrow, I'm going to take it. No, I'm going to wait for things to set up nice for me. Then I'm going to lean into the position, small contract size. If I am proven right, I want to lean into it more. Right. I'm going to lean into it. Add contracts to the winners. Make sure I'm zero risk if I'm adding contracts. I'm going from there. That's the method. If the market proves me wrong, cut it. Won't let it get to even $400, $500 and draw down. No, I'll just cut it. Just cut it. Because if it decides to go in my original direction, cool. I'll take that play. And then it can prove me right. But that is the strat when it comes to making this long game, just continuing to scale in this long game of trading and developing this skill set. There's so much work I need to do, have yet to do. Been in this space for, I'd say, 2.5 years. There'd been months during that 2.5 years where, I wasn't trading. So I'd say maybe a little over, yeah, maybe a little over 2 years of, trading time. If you count all the months I've been on. So, I've always kind of forecasted, of course, we want to get there as quick as possible. But as I have, projected forward and, done research and, just been immersed in the trading space, it's a good 3 to 5 years before, you kind of turn the corner. That's just involvement with the market. It's not, one person being smarter than anybody else necessarily. It's not one person necessarily having a significantly better edge. Right? There's so many edges you can have in the market, but it's the subjective experience that allows us to turn the corner. It's the time involvement that gets us to turn the corner. Right. It's a time game. It's a time game, and we are certainly okay with leaning into something that takes time, right? Because we know we're going to have the volume. Volume times time says whatever we set out for in the future, volume times time, right? If the volume decreases, it's going to take a little bit longer. You can think about that equation like a ratio. If you add more volume, decrease the time, right? That's the ratio we're working with here. Okay, good one to push down a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Again, what we say about this area? All right, let's look back. What is the market doing in this range? Look at this. Look at this. So I'm paying attention to this. Strong area of resistance here. Strong level of decision making. Right. I'm just doing a little visual exercise for us. All right. You can see a strong area of decision making that we're bouncing on here. If we start to push through it, great. We'll hit that sell button. So risk on will push gold downwards. Not necessarily. I need to phrase that different because the sentiment isn't pushing it. The sentiment isn't doing the pushing. It is a layer lower than that. I'll kind of leave it at that because it all impacts the market. It's all playing a part, and to say that one component of those parts is doing the pushing isn't right. It's not nuanced enough. About 626 right now. You know, I wouldn't the the bounce off this area and at least come up to fill that little area of inefficiency there. But I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to do that. I don't love it. All I dream of. Yeah, so as I look at my higher time frames, all right. When I look at higher time frames, particularly, I'm really looking at our MACD here. What does the volume look like? Where's our relativity at? What's the conditions in which our higher time frames are operating in? See little seller's volume here on our 4 hour. All right, it makes sense after you'll go back to excuse me. Go back to yesterday morning. Been bearish since their little recovery. Now we're kind of sitting at sitting in a consolidation zone, if you will. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. So 4 hour little seller's volume there. One hour lack of seller's volume, which again makes sense just with how he's been consolidating. 1 day lack of seller's volume, recovering off the big drop from the 18th, beginning the 18th. Yeah, well, you could say beginning the 12th, if you will. Falling out of the sky. Let's see if price. This will be our active look here. Let's see if price comes up and eats that up now or later. Taking a quick look over just some of the past data releases here, just to see if anything stands out. Right. We unfortunately aren't able to get the US dollar chart, the DXY, on the Top Step platform. So I'm not gonna show us the dollar, but a lot of why gold has been pushing down a major push, and we're talking about sentiment being a push. One of the main key drivers of gold moving downwards is the dollar being supported. And right, and just on the surface level, as we look at this past week or so, you see a lot of green, a lot of data in support or quote unquote good for the US dollar currency. All right, and we should know that gold and US dollar typically when it's behaving nice, it's way too simplistic, but I'm gonna run with it. They'll move analogous to each other. So when the dollar is moving up, you'll see gold moving down, right, and vice versa. Dollar going down, gold going up. It's usually the relationship that we see happening between the dollar and gold. Yeah, and this is a fun watch for me and my brain here. Just watching how these levels work, how these levels get eaten up. Areas of inefficiency I'm referring to particularly, as you guys were still staring at Forex Factory. But yeah, just to conclude a thought there, not so much last week, but we said going back to the 12th, really. So we could start this week. The 18th was the big day. Really positive CPI, good for currency. FOMC rate cuts held. Yeah, forgot about that. Rates held. Rates held. Gold doesn't like that. Gold was not a happy camper when rates were held. Ooh, I need a stretch, man. We got an intramurals football game today. Yeah, coming off a little hammy pull, feeling decently good. I'll get a little stretching this morning. Game's at 7 tonight, so we got some time to get the body right. What do I need? No, I'm up to you too. I'll tap in with you next Thursday. We play every Thursday. I'm gonna need 2 receiving touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, 2 picks. That's what I need. That's what I need. Just a little more for me there. I'm gonna need that too. I'm gonna go grab that too. But nah, man, it's fun. Little intramurals football. Not sure who we're playing today, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gonna be fun. All right, you guys watch the market. I'm gonna use the restroom. I drink too much water, man. When I'm at school, I have like this. I don't even know how many ounces it's not 64. I think a 32-ounce hydro flask. I down that thing. So yeah, especially at night. I'm thirsty. But I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. And then we'll continue on for the last 30 minutes or so. Wee. Back to doing a game. I remembered the other day. I've been not grinding it, but this is just the second time I've been on it in the last handful of months. But does anybody play Clash of Clans? That used to be. I remember when we first played that in middle school. Man, our clan was Clash or Die, and we took it. And if you're asking if we took it serious, and if you could answer that question for yourself, if you could guess, you're probably right. Of course, we took it serious. Clash or Die, man. What a time. That was, I think that was eighth grade. And when I look back, I have to remember the certain classrooms we were in. That kind of helps me orient to um, what years things that happened in the past. Just dang man, the years just blend together. The older you get, blend together. The memories don't necessarily fade; they just blend together. It's hard to say okay, this was sixth grade versus seventh grade versus eighth grade. Some of the bigger stuff, yeah, but a lot of the little stuff. Difficile, très difficile. Working on my French. Anybody that comes across this recording and speaks another language, how'd you learn that other language? What was your strategy to make it a bigger part of your life? I'm just interested in hearing other people's perspective when it comes to that. 'Cause for me, I'm gonna be fluent in French and Spanish, but I know there's things that I need to do in my life to make it just a little bit more urgent, if you will. I get my little lessons in, right? I get my little lessons in. That's for sure. I use the Speak app, and I like it. I like it. I wish it was a little bit more critical on my pronunciation, but I think that's me being a bigot, if you will. Well, yeah. Excuse me. I've been interacting with the French for shit, year and a half interacting with it, and that sound right? I think it does. So yeah, little bits and pieces here and there. What was I learning yesterday? The lesson I did last night, I was half paying attention because I was watching The Last Dance at the same time. So I was trying to do my lesson during the commercials, and it ate into the the series the series time. So after the commercials, so I was doing one of those things, looking at my phone and looking up is frustrating. But yeah, I don't remember. It'll come to me now that I'm thinking about it. Now that I am thinking about it. So yeah, checking movement here and trade balance day. Let's look at when the last trade balance day was. Let me get accurate. Damn, I can't believe it's already April. Crazy, man. Crazy. Okay, let's go to March 12th. No way that was the last one. It might have been, though. Was on a Thursday. Trade balance, good for currency. Okay, so let's go to March 12th. Remember what we said about March 12th, huh? Yeah. Remember what we said about March 12th? Yes, yes, yes. So this is the last trade balance day. Like I said, I said it earlier. My last trade balance day got a ton of movement. Ton of movement. I was in a bullish bias, so wasn't able to collect a lot of this move. But man, look at that. Consolidated for a little bit, continued to push down. Steep, it's heavy. So yeah. So I have removed the sentiment that on trade balance days we're just gonna move sideways. And that's not necessarily the case. Ooh, do you know I wanted to check actually? Do you know why I did that? Because I wanted to check what time that happened at on the 12th of March. Okay, so you could say it kind of started at 6 a.m. Kept going down, big candle at 8, little retrace, continue to push down through the morning. Yeah, then the next move came in the evening. Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's gonna go for a couple minutes here. I need to blow my nose, get my coffee. I don't want to leave you guys again. So we are going to go 45 minutes today. Cut it a little bit short. No, I'm still gonna have my chart open, but again, thinking of trade balance probabilities. I can stay on here and yap all morning. But I know there's more efficient uses of our time. So I spent good time just observing. I think going through some of our tools, understanding some of the tools that are at play, and yeah, we'll see where we go from here. The mission continues. Um, volume times time. Volume times time. I think that's one of the hardest things that isn't really talked about when it comes to just being highly ambitious and actively doing things that are of high importance that require a lot of mental energy, that require a lot of focus, a lot of attention. So it's easy to wasn't able to spend a couple days trading, um, because I'm in grad school, because I'm going into professional school. So in my case, I have to just have the emotional understanding and intelligence to tell myself, like, yeah, okay, the volume can't quite be what it looks like for everybody else that's in this space. Okay, what does that mean? Do you think of the volume times time equation? We worked through that earlier. A little less time, a little less volume, excuse me. It's just going to take a little bit more time, a little bit more time. So as I work through, the steps, as I continue to work on adherence to my system, risk management protocols, it's important for me to understand what my journey looks like, not, as Bob Proctor says, not what you think I should be, not what mom thinks I should be, not what brother thinks I should be, not what dad thinks I should be, not what the world thinks I should be. All right. We are in control. The only thing that we control is our own little corner of the world. So that'll be my message that I leave us with this morning, as we potentially watch our little gap get filled here. But If you made it this far into the recording, into the live, thank you for tapping in. Um, as always, give us a like and subscribe. It means a lot to us, just over here on the back end. And yeah, we'll see you back on. I'll be in the chat on Tuesday, back on live Thursday. Hopefully, no trade balance. But appreciate you guys stopping in. I'll see you guys next time.